Look at the numbers. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of the Showerpodcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and first of all, congratulations to both of us. First of all, to myself, because we made it to episode 32, which means that we have done an episode for the whole January, which we all know was the longest month in the history of humankind. I don't know if you follow the memes, but the meme with January that never ended, I feel it. And especially doing this, because you do have, let's say, a tangible and, let's say, like a concrete event that happens every day, that being this episode. So there's that. At the same time, I again want to thank each and every one of you for listening along. This kind of project was supposed to be, let's say, with no public, and this will be a bit, let's say, also the topic of today. But what I want to get into is that knowing that there is at least one person on the other end that will listen to this makes it a bit almost not impossible, but makes it way harder to just skip it or not think about it or not do it. Because as I said many times, the moment that you're just with you and yourself, you are the master of tricking yourself into not doing the things that you have to do. Whereas if there is at least somebody else looking, things might change. So I said and I talked about numbers at the start of this, and I have to say, I kind of start to, not relate, but I can understand why all the people that live in the industry of social media or content creation, and as I said also in previous episodes, I do know people, I do have friends that, let's say, live off of this. And these platforms really are such a killer for your mental health if you start getting involved and sucked into the algorithm and the numbers. And let me expand a bit on my personal experience of a channel with under 100 subscribers and videos that don't go over the 100 views. But first of all, there is the excitement that comes with every new number. From this point of view, I do relate, and I have shifted a bit my, let's say, my view for if I stumble upon a creator or somebody that is trying to do something that I genuinely like, and that is important, I will always be, now I cannot just not press that like button, not comment, not leave that subscribe, because I know myself that when I see something like that, and when it reaches, let's say, the person that for whom you had thought about the content that you're doing, there is a very big dopamine rush, and you are, let's say, very, very pleased to find somebody new that will that has listened to your show, to your video, to your reel, to your live, whatever it is. So that is the first bit, and that creates excitement, and that's the problem. When I talk about that dopamine rush, I could understand why the moment that these numbers start growing, and also, let's say, the responsibility that is attached to it grows, it's not that easy to start ignoring all those signals and just focus on your content. I am, let's say, lucky enough. Of course, never say never, and one day we might look back on this and laugh, for both ways. But because you never know how something like this can go right or wrong. One day you might wake up with thousands of views on your video, or you might live a life where you will stay where you are. And this underlines again how much importance it gives to just doing things because you want to do them. Because the moment that you try to let's say, create something artificially, and this is the very important bit, with having yourself at the center of it, that kind of correlation where if things don't go right, you will also be affected personally, is very, very dangerous. If you're creating an account to just post videos of raccoons hugging every day, or if you are freebooting content from somebody else, or again, if you're trying to get on the wave or following perfectly the algorithm of whatever platform you're posting on, that is completely another thing. Like it at that point is basically a job, and you're trying to do yourself to reach the targets that you have set for yourself. The problem with these platforms, and the moment that you put your face on it and your persona, is that inevitably there is a correlation between them. So the moment that the results that you were used to having are not there, you start questioning yourself. And as I was saying, I'm happy that this, of course, and I generally hope, I mean, never say never, but I would struggle definitely to be able to, let's say, deal with, let's say, negativity and with all the numbers that would be attached to this kind of job. Because even in my simplicity, the day that I see, I don't know, one episode gets 50 views and the one after gets 5 views, you're like, but the previous episode was so much worse, or I think that I've said things in a way more interesting thing in this one, or the quality was better, or I've improved stuff, and it doesn't work well, then, you know, it's hard to just accept that and go forward knowing that, you know, down the line, there might be the content, there might be a match between the things that you think you have done well and that also the public receives well. And this kind of, let's say, constant questioning, I personally, at least, looking forward, I do believe that it will help me massively. Because if there is something that is true, is that the moment that I'm here and you could say potentially anything about me, and I know that I am not really, let's say, putting myself at danger. I'm not saying stuff that it's out of my comfort zone, or I am not trying to be somebody that I'm not. So whatever you say to me, if you like me, good. If you don't, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna chase, let's say, I'm not looking to please anybody by doing this. And indeed, if I said it that in a positive way, it can be problematic. If in a negative way, it can be problematic. I think that the opposite is there. Because the moment, let's say, I would put up a persona to be in front of the camera, and I would get validation from all the people that are watching that content. But on my day-to-day basis and the things that I do, being myself, I am not given that kind of recognition. Then the situation gets scary, because who are you then? Should you go along with your new persona that you're building to get and continue living on the validation that you're receiving? Or should you be truthful to yourself and accept, let's say, the things that are happening to you? This question is left for yourself, but it's not a situation in which I want to be put into. So everything that you see here, you would also see on a day-to-day life basis, and the people that know me and watch this know that this is this is true. Having said that, it's shower time is over. Thank you very much for listening. This was episode 32 of the Shower Podcast, and see you at the next one.